Tustin is ranked number 6 in the county, but should they really be that high? Does Jay Serra really belong in the Orange County football top 10? We're going to take a look at what's going on in the top 10 here at OCVarsity.com. I'm Steve Fryer here with Dan Albano and Carlos Arias with our look at what's going on in football. And this week we decided to kind of take a look at the top 10 teams in there and see who we think is overrated and who's underrated. Myself, I think I mentioned Tustin being at number 6. I think Edison's better. I think Newport Harbor's better. I think San Clemente's better than Tustin. I would put them number 10 in the county, not number 6. And the team that I think is underrated, and I think they're not getting votes because they're 2 and 3, is La Habra. But you look at who they lost to: Servite, Orange Lutheran, and St. John Bosco. All those teams are pretty good. I mean, Bosco, nobody knows about him here in Orange County, but that team's 4-1 with Jason Negro running that group there. So that's who I think is overrated, is Tustin. And I think La Habra, that should be a top 10 team despite that 2 and 3 record. What do you think, Dan?
Well, I think you gotta mention La Habra, but if they don't have the results, I don't think they can be ranked top 10. So I think at 2 and 3, you still got to win games. You still got to win games, and it's not in some of their games they didn't score 80 points against Servite.
So they probably should have scheduled Orange or something like that.
You have to look at
Fullerton.
They're scheduling. Frank Rizzota knows how to schedule and how to win their CIF titles in their particular division.
Right.
And you have to keep that in mind. He's not scheduling it he's not scheduling to be ranked in the top 10. He's scheduling to win a CIF title in his division.
Absolutely. I think that deserves some respect.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he could, I don't, cupcakes just make you fat and soft, Carlos. So who do you think's overrated?
Are you
who's
trying
underrated?
to say something?
No, I was talking to somebody over there. But who do you think is overrated right now? Who's too high in that top 10?
Okay, I think Servite's number 1. I think Mission Vale is number 2. Everybody else is underrated and overrated. They're all beating each other. I mean, how could you even say somebody deserves to be in and the other one doesn't? They're all killing each other.
Yeah, I mean, you look at San Clemente, Newport Harbor last week, and
it's carnage out there.
On it goes. It's pretty crazy. Is there a team that's not in that top 10 that you think, should be in there?
Well, once again, Dan said, La Habra doesn't have the results. Come on, you played 3 Trinity League teams.
Right.
They played Servite pretty tough. St. John Bosco is going to be a sleeper in the Trinity League. They look really good. Great running back, Martin Brown. And their quarterback's got a real live arm, so that's going to be they're going to be nails, man.
Okay.
And Coach Negro was coaching them.
Yeah, and he's done a great job. Of course, did a great job with Tribuco last year. Took them all the way to the CF championship game in the Southwest Division. They lost to La Habra in that game, So that was a little rematch there. But I think when people look at the top 10, I think, especially the readership, I think they put way too much emphasis on wins. I mean, I get all these emails and phone messages and stuff about 4-0. I mean, when Mater Dei beat San Clemente, and they were 1 and 2, and they were in the top 10. I mean, people were just like ripping us for that.
But one thing to remember about Mater Dei's losses to non-county teams. So if we're talking about an Orange County top 10, they've beaten their big boys that they played there.
That was one of the things I had a point in this week's top 10, is that why I saw some people voted Mater Dei above Santa Margarita when you have a common opponent like Carson, a non-county team. But Santa Margarita really did a number on Carson, and Carson beat Mater Dei. I think you had the Eagles, and Coach Harry Walsh needed to be higher. A couple teams that one team that I think is underrated, not in the top 10. I voted them this week with Cypress. I think Cypress is I think they haven't played the strongest of schedules, but they're 4-0. Had a nice victory over Norwalk to start the year. Have a nice comparable score with Los Al against Norwalk, and looked really good. 42-6 victory over Capo Valley. Capo Valley last week beat Valencia. So I think that's one team. And I think a little bit overrated for me is I'm not quite sold on Jay Serra yet on their schedule. So they got a big game this week against Damien.
Yeah.
So I didn't vote Jay Serra top 10 this week.
Neither did I.
Yeah, me neither. And Los Al, though, wow, what they laid an egg against Santa Margarita. Did not show up, got completely manhandled. You rarely see that happen to a John Barnes team, so I was kind of shocked.
Yeah, well, a lot of teams get the buys right now. They get a break.
Nick Richardson, injuries are going to have a big part of it as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. But, at this time of year, everybody's got bumps and bruises. Sure. That game's out there is rugged. I mean, the type of hitting we're seeing right now in Orange County football, it's It's sick out there, guys. I tell you.
Bad stuff, man.
Yeah,
Bad
I tell you,
stuff.
I'd hate to have to play Mission or Servite. You know, I mean, boy, you come out of there and you're going to be all bruised up. So
You don't play them, you try to survive them.
yes, exactly.
That's what
So
we do.
exactly. So well, we're going to survive the talk of the top 10 too, and certainly we're going to get a lot more emails and comments. You know, at ocvarsity.com and the comments thing. You know, when you see our votes over there, people come at us pretty good, so that's a lot of fun. So, you know, you can keep track of everything that's going here. And in football, we got the games coming up this week. We're going to have the live updates Thursday and Friday and Saturday. Empire League's got some good games this week, and we'll have a lot of video of those games as well. And again, on Monday, we set up we put our top 10s who we vote, and everybody goes crazy here at ocvarsity.com, where we've got you covered.